36 clubs enter this year's Champions League in the brand new squeaky clean league format, who of course will make it through to the knockout stages. Who do I think will be going home? We're going to take a little look at my predictions and they're coming at you next. That's right, folks, back once again with another video. Today, we're going to take my short, sharp look at this year's Champions League. Brand new squeaky clean league format. And hopefully on the screen right about now, you should see each and every one of the games in this year's tournament predicted by me, which, of course, I have put those results in a calculator. And we're going to show which teams I think will go through to the knockout stages and which teams will be going home in the first instance. Well, we'll take a look at that in a minute. If you're new, where you been? Smash your subscribe and your one-stop shop for Champions League is right here, guys. We're going to be predicting each and every one of the games, match day by match day, all the way through to the final. And hopefully, you can be here with me to join the show. Let's get involved with all that in a second. Big shout out once again to the VIPs, the patrons. You know who you are. But let's get into it. All right, folks, here we go with the brand new squeaky clean league format of the Champions League. 36 clubs coming into it. Officially, only 8 go through to the knockout stages, and then we have a bit of a playoff encounter which involves 16 clubs to join those top 8 in the official knockout stage, the money round. That's right. So who, of course, will be going through in that top 8, and who, of course, will be going home in the first round of games. So I put all the results in the calculator, and these are the results. I've not looked at them. I don't know who is number 1. I really don't. I'm excited to see who I've got at number 1. But we're going to take a look at the bottom end, the dregs, who I think was going home. There is some quality, though, in this competition. I believe we might be surprised to see some of them on going home at the first stage. So, into 36th spot, without further ado, it is Slovan Bratislava. 2 points for them out of a possible, what are we looking at? 8 games, 24 points, just 2 points. 2 draws, of course. 4 home games, 4 away games. It's not going to be a good haul for them. They're just happy to be here, I imagine. Same can be said for Young Boys Burn. They're here, picking up 1 win out of the possible 8, according to my eyes. 7 defeats. Again, probably just happy to be here at this stage. You've got to realistically think about it as the group stages. If you were just to be at the group stages, you're happy to be here. Happy to be part of it. And Young Boys Burn are there in my eyes. Sparta Prague, again, 4 points. Ain't going to be good enough. What we've noticed, or what I've noticed at the previous 2 videos, you win 5, you're through into the power 8. I think if you get 50-50, if you win 4 matches, you're going to be in maybe the seeded bracket. 3 wins might get you into the unseeded, but 1 win ain't going to get you jack. So they're going home, unfortunately. And they're going to be joined by PSV Eindhoven, which is it's one of my first shocks, I would imagine, here. PSV, one of the bigger boys, if not the big boy right now, over in the Dutchlands. Just 4 points for them. Maybe a tricky run of games. Difficult for PSV. They're going to be joined also on the scrap heap is by Club Brugge out of Belgium. 4 points for them. No wins. Picking up 4 draws and 4 defeats. They are facing the axe. Early doors is Club Brugge from the Juniper League. Into 31st, we have Red Star Belgrade, a juggernaut of the past, sleeping giant, maybe you would say. They're going to be difficult to play at home for sure. But in my eyes, they're just only going to pick up 5 points, which is going to be nowhere near enough to qualify, even as one of the unseeded teams. Into 30th, I have Stade Brest, kind of coming out of Ligue 1. I'm thinking just quite happy to be here, Stade Brest. 1 win, 2 draws, 5 defeats. They could be a bit of a whipping boy, but they might prove to be stubborn opposition in this competition. But again, very happy, very shocked to see them here, and quite surprised to see them above PSV in this new Power League. Meanwhile, Sturm Graz coming at you out of Austria. 6 points for them. Ain't going to be good enough. They're going home in 29th spot in my eyes. Dynamo Zagreb out of Croatia. They have 7 points. And again, I think their heydays of making the last 16 a long time ago. But they will prove to be difficult. Look at that. They've got 1 win, 4 draws. So they're coming out of this with with small defeats. So a little bit hard done by for them to go home with just 7 points. Monaco. Wow, look at that. 27th. I have them just 7 points. But I guess the cream does really rise to the top when you put them in this league like this, because 7 points would typically be enough. I know there's 2 extra games here, but ultimately not good enough. Monaco, they're going to go home. They're going to be joined by Feyenoord, another powerhouse in the Dutch league, just not good enough. 2 wins, 2 draws, 4 defeats. They're going home. See you later, Alligator, and they'll be joined by RB Salzburg, the powerhouse out of Austria. Again, 8 points, not good enough to get through to at least the unseeded stage, let alone the bigger boys of the top 8. So see you later. They're out, but who is actually going through, or at least prolonging their competition? Well, we're going to take a look at them right here, right now. As you can see, Salzburg down there with 8th points. They are just missing them, or just squeaking above them, is Leipzig. They will go through with goal difference, beating their Red Bull brother. Leipzig ousting Salzburg there. They go in as one of the unseeded teams. Now, one of the unseeded teams will take on the seeded teams, and they, of course, will duke it out to be in that power, to join that Power 8 in the official Mega Money round. In the 23rd spot, it'll be Shakhtar Donetsk. Always there or thereabouts, aren't they? Always a little problem. Always difficult team to judge. 3 wins, 4 defeats, though. 3 wins looks like it's going to be good enough to be in this sort of middle of the road sort of stage. So I think they'll take that at the start of the competition. Joined by Bologna, making a return, if not their debut in this competition. I don't think they've ever made it to the Champions League, but they're here. And of course, they have lost a bit of they've lost their coach, they've lost Xerxes, they've lost a few other key players as well. So Bologna may not be as good as this. They might, I think this is peak. I don't think they can get much better than 22nd in my eyes. So they'll be probably fortuitous to be in the unseeded bracket, if that, hopefully that explains it. In the 21st, we have Lille. They're in there with also 10 points, same as Bologna and Shakhtar Donetsk. Middle of the road tables, middle of the road teams there. Not really flexing, but also just doing enough to be continuing in this competition. They'll be happy with that. There'll be a challenge for anyone in that in the playoff round there. 20th, we have Sporting. Quite surprised to see them so low. But only 2 defeats, drawing 4 games, making it difficult for those other teams and picking up just a couple of wins. But 10 points is enough. And keeping a disciplined back line, you would imagine. Girona coming at you out of Spain. Of course, they were flirting with the top 2 for a good part of the season, but they'll be in 19th. They started off quite nicely in La Liga. Again, 4 wins, 4 defeats. Win your home games, make it difficult for them on the road. But hey, 12 points sees you through, at least as one of the unseeded teams. Where we go? 18th spot, Stuttgart coming at you out of the Bundesliga. 3 wins, 3 draws, and 2 defeats. 12 points, pretty good. Again, a welcome relief or welcome tonic to these competitions. The likes of Stuttgart, Girona, Bologna, even some unfamiliar names, but a good chance for them to showcase what they're all about in the grand stage. But Stuttgart will be 18th, a little bit hard done by, just missing out on that 16th spot into 17th with Dortmund. Wow. Wow. Always the bridesmaid, forever the bride, whatever. Never the bride. Dortmund, of course, they weren't as good as they could have been last season. And again, maybe a little bit lucky to be here. And 17th spot right now under a new coach. I think they started okay in the Bundesliga, but just missing out on that seeded bracket here. As I'm trying to think, 2, 4, 6. Yeah, that's the last unseeded team. The seeded team who have a bit of more favourable draw, I would imagine, when we get to the playoffs into 2025. We've got Benfica squeaking in at 16th spot in my eyes. Just 3 defeats, 4 wins, 13 points is enough for you to break into that power, or the mini 8, you would say. 15th, we have Celtic. Wow. It's a big boost for Scottish football to see them at least make it into the top half of the draw here. So 15th spot for Brendan Rodgers' boys. 3 defeats, 4 wins sees them go into as one of the seeded teams. Into 14th, we have Juventus. It's been a while since they've been the kingpins of Italy, but they're getting there. They're growing. Got just 1 defeat again for them. 3 wins, 4 draws, proving to be difficult when on the road. So Juventus, a little bit hard done by to be so low, but hey, 13 points is what it's going to give you. They're joined by fellow Italian team Atalanta. Again, they went far last year in the Europa League. Very, very close to glory. Did they not win it? I can't remember. Did they win it? They might have won it. Did they win it? Let me know. I can't remember if they won it. I'm a bit of a daze at the moment. But Atalanta, again, one of those teams you don't like Leipzig and Atalanta. It's just awkward kind of teams. You don't know. Sometimes they're phenomenal. Sometimes you get them on a real bad day, and you can tonk them quite easily. But 13th for me, they'll take that all day long. Joined by, they've got 3 Italian teams in a row here, with AC Milan joining them, Atalanta in 13th, and then Juventus. But they're a little bit better off with 14 points, and again into the seeded bracket. Milan proving to be tricky. In 11th, we have Atletico Madrid. They'll have to duke it out in those playoff matches as one of the seeded teams with 14 points. They'll be there quite, just a little bit, just outside that Power 8. Joined by Aston Villa. Wow, wow, what a return to glory for them. Again, just outside that Power 8, which of course gives you a bit of a breathing space before the Mega Money round. And then finally, the last team to just miss out on that Power 8, it will be PSG. 15 points, just one defeat. They've won 4 of their matches, half of them, and they picked up 3 draws. It's not good enough. It's not good enough, guys. You've got to be the cream of the crop to be in that Power 8. And they are here. They are here. Take a little look at it. The Power 8 in all their glory. Who is 8th? In my eyes, currently, when we look at the league structure, it will be Arsenal, just squeaking in there. They do suffer a couple of defeats along the way, 5 wins, but they'll be happy with that. Into the last 8, waiting for the results of that playoff encounter. It's sweet, not the sweet 16, the illustrious 8, the grateful 8. There we go, just called it. The grateful 8. Arsenal will be there. They'll be joined by Bayer Leverkusen, who will suffer a defeat. I've got them at 17 points, 5 wins, 2 draws. Difficult to play against. Alonso's stuck it out with them, and I think their mentality will give them a good boost this competition. But they're not the top German side, though, because they're still to come. Real Madrid, 6th in the table. Wow. Again, difficult run of games. Just 1 defeat, though, in those 8. Which is expected. They can't win them all. Does anybody win them all? I don't think they all. I don't think anybody does win them all. But Real Madrid, of course, they'll be happy. They'll peak. They'll of course be there or thereabouts at the end of it. But just to get through that Power 8 is job 1. And they all do that quite convincingly with 17 points. Into 5th, we have a Spanish team, Barcelona. They don't make the Power 4, though. They do make 5th in the table. Again, same record as Madrid. A little bit better on the defensive side, which sees them with a better goal difference than Real Madrid. But 5th place for Hansi Flick's boys. And again, into the Power 4 we go, and it is Manchester City. Oh my gosh, who is in the Power 3? I know 2 of them, two of the clubs, but I don't know who the 3rd team is. But we'll get to that a little bit. Oh, I do know who that 3rd team is. I just don't know which order. So let's do a reveal of my ball knowledge. Inter will be there, Liverpool will be there, and Bayern will be there. Those are the 3 teams, but what order? So here they come. We have Internazionale, 18 points, 2 defeats though, but 6 wins gives themselves 3rd spot in my eyes, comfortably through into the Mega Money round there. Joined by Liverpool in 2nd spot with 20 points, no defeats, not perfect record, but no defeats. They go through with 20 points, and then joined by Vinny Kompany's Bayern München with 20 points as well. I don't really believe it. I don't really know too much about them at the moment, but they do have a lot of quality, and it looks like they've got a good favourable games for them in this competition. So there it is. That's who I think that Power 8 will go through to the Mega Money round. Then the teams from 9th, all the way down to 20-something, they will duke it out too, of course. We'll be here from each and every one of the games from match number 1 all the way through to the final in May. So make sure, or is it in June even? But please be sure to smash your subscribe, smash the thumbs up, and hit the bell. Your non-stop shop continues here for Champions League, World Football, Blackburn Rovers. We got it all here under one roof. But until then, we're done.